Hey everybody, so I made a video the other day showing my plans for this grinder, and now they're pretty much finished, so I thought I would make a quick little video here again to show everybody the state the grinder is. You can see it looks a lot different to what it did before. It's nice and colourful, isn't it? That's a blue. So it's only minor changes that I've made, really. I've got to remember what the primary change is. This motor. So this motor originally came from my lathe, which is over here, and on the if you see the other videos on the channel, down here somewhere, has this little tiny motor on it now. And that freed up this motor. So this motor I cannot, I'm not aware of its actual details of this power of it, but it works. So that's the main modification I made to the grinder, is putting that motor on it. Tied up some of the electronics, put a switch on it, and also gave the thing a proper frame for the base. Otherwise, nothing else has majorly changed. So with the addition of the motor was the addition of the roller, like I mentioned in the previous video. We put it on, we got it going on. So if you look kind of down here, you will see the shaft motor. Here we go, I've got a little pointer here. So we got the motor shaft, and then the drive wheel hub. I had to turn up on the lathe this little shim that goes from the larger diameter wheel to the smaller diameter thing, and I also had to hand make the key, so it would go in a small groove with the larger dealio and get it all in nice and tight. And then if we roll around here somewhere, you can see there's a grub screw in the actual wheel. So that was the main thing, and then we built the frame to make it sit, because initially it was just sitting on this, and then you had to kind of prop it up so you could get bolts underneath it, and that was just a pain. So I made a frame, apparently blew some holes in the pipe. The other point of all this stuff was welding practice. But yeah, you can see it's all nice and blue and black. As I painted everything while I had it all apart, make it all look nice. Yeah, I can show you it runs. Having a switch on it makes things a lot easier to turn on and off, that's for sure. Because it used to have the other motor just had a plug that we had to constantly plug in and out of the power point, which was annoying. Not too much else has changed, so the belts come off by, it's hard to do this with one hand, kind of. Belts come attention by that little pneumatic shock absorber thing. It's kind of hard to remove that with one hand, but yeah, this is my little belt grinder way it stands. I think you'll agree it's come up quite the treat. pretty happy with how it came up. And you can see there is clearance there. Kind of looks like there's, from here it looks like that's almost rubbing there, but it's not. Pretty happy with that. But yeah, maybe I will make a quick video of it doing anything. So this is the current state of the belt grinder. It's gone through quite the evolution from when it started. It actually started, nothing on this is left from the original thing now. The last thing was the drive wheel. Started with the cheapo Azito kind of bench grinder that had a belt grinder platen attachment that was rubbish, sucked, basically pulled it apart pretty quickly, and then kind of kept adding to it and adding to it, turned it into this little belt grinder the way it was before, which is basically this but unpainted and a different motor and a different drive wheel. Been like that for years, and I've actually used it quite a bit. I figured I would get it out, tidy it up, and give it a crack, see how it goes. Now it's all nice and pretty. So yeah, one thing with this motor is it's got plenty of power, so I think it's more powerful than the pool pump motor that I pulled off it, but it's a lot slower. So I think this is probably, I think it's 1440 RPM. I can't remember what the other one is, like 27 or something. So it's a fair bit slower, but unlike the other one, this one is harder to bog down, so it will just churn through the grinding. Whereas if you press too hard on the other machine, it would bog down and stall. And also, to get the other one started, most of the time you'd have to give the belt a flick to get it to go over, just from the friction and the tension in the belt. But this one, as you saw a second ago, has no such issues. Well, I guess I will give it a bit of a demonstration now. And I've got a couple of bits here that I want to grind out, little circles, which are going to go on the top of these. So I've got to grind out these, and then I want to TIG weld them onto here. Little project I'm making, like a little practice project basically. But yeah, so I'm going to put that together and put this in a stand, and we can watch me use the machine. There we go. Trying to get a bit more off this, but yeah. Need to get a water bucket. Alright, I'll go back handheld again, I guess. So that was probably the longest I've actually run this little guy since I've finished the upgrades. It works pretty good, as I mentioned in my previous video, previously in this video really. This motor is a bit slower than the previous one, even with a larger belt drive. Still goes a bit slower. However, as you could see before, it does work. It does the job, probably not quite as vigorously as it could, but for a zero cost upgrade, because I already had this because I bought it. That wasn't very smart of me. I already had the drive pulley because I bought these wheels, these 4 wheels as a kit years ago. Used all the other ones. It was just the pump motor that I was using has an even smaller thing, and at the time I didn't have a lathe to make a adapter for it anyway. So yeah, that is the current state of the grinder. I do realise for future videos I really need to show a bit more of the working if I want to make a bit more of these videos, but I will try to do a bit better in the future. Anyway, that's my little belt grinder. It's a 2x48 inch. So 2x72 is kind of the standard. It's a lot bigger. I ended up going 2x42 just for the size as much as anything, because this thing's tiny. Like the 72s will be huge. I can't even go to the tape measure. Like, so this whole thing from back there to, it's like 500 mil. It's about 500 mil to the, from there to about the front of the platen. Well, not even the front of the platen, the front of the work platform. Yeah. Might not be made as strong as some, like I'm not using the 50x50 or 40x40, whatever they use, solid bar for the tool attachment. I'm literally using a, I don't even know what is that stuff, 6mm. This is the same thing. I can't see that. It's like 8mm. No, 5, 6, 7 or 8mm. Was that even showing? I don't know. Steel. All this stuff's the same. Even this stuff I think was the same. I just had a bunch of it from a bunch of old brackets that I had. This whole thing is actually made almost completely out of random old TV unit stands, actually. I even have one over here. This was the other reason why I kind of made it the way I made it, is that I was making it to fit the material that I had. So it was basically, the base of this is basically one of these cut down and then stuff welded onto it. I probably could if I really want to make another one, but I don't really need another one, so we're not going to bother. Anyway, that's the reasons behind my decisions in making this guy. Pretty happy with it. I'd like it if it had a bit more speed. Maybe I'll do a future upgrade where I've kind of contemplated putting one of these guys on it, because these guys are tiny. They're like that big. What is that? Like all of my videos, it's just a bit ranty. Yeah. That is like 100 mil deep. And you add like another 30 or 40 for the motor. Like literally, that would be how big that took up. That would make a tiny little grinder. I do know they like to use these servo motor systems, these guys, on the little tabletop knife sharpening grinders. That'll be like 1x something, little tiny ones. Because this is, from memory, like 3/4 horsepower. I think that thing down there, which is the pump motor, might be, I can't even see, can you see it? Used to be able to see it, but you can't make that out. Can you make any of that out? Anyway, that's the original motor. Anyway, I am going to stop this random walk around rambling video now and go do something else, and I'll put this together and chuck it up online soon. Anyway, I don't think I've probably introduced myself, but if you're on here, you probably can figure out who I am. My name is Matt. I'm from DIY Data, and I hope you like this video. I'm going to try to make some more kind of things. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, feel free to thumbs down, whatever. If you're leaving a comment, I prefer nice ones or constructive criticism. But yeah, do what you feel like you need to do, buddy.